Hello, welcome to Weekly Reads with Robert, and this week I'm talking about one of my all-time favorite books, Loving What Is by Byron Katie. Let me tell you a little bit about Miss Katie. She was a very troubled woman living in the desert town of Barstow, California. She was very successful financially, but personally she was very troubled. She stayed in her bedroom and did all her work selling rentals and real estate, but she never left her room. She didn't bathe, she didn't brush her teeth, she was frightening to her children, she kept a gun under her pillow. She was a mess. She finally tried to get some help, and the only place that would cover her because of her insurance was an eating disorder place. So she stayed in this home with all these other women with eating disorders, and they were so afraid of her that she was put in a little room under the stairs all by herself because they were just terrified of her. She was so angry and negative and a very, very unhappy person. And then one morning she had some sort of mystical experience and she was instantly changed. She went home. She changed, she started taking care of herself, and then neighbors found out she was a much more peaceful person, and they would come over and talk to her. And through these talks, she developed this system called the work. Now, the work is 4 questions and something called a turnaround. And I'm going to discuss what each of those questions are and how this process works. Miss Katie is very interested in knowing what is your belief. This is her key concept. What is it you believe? And then you apply your belief, or you apply these 4 questions to your belief. So let's say, well, let me first say what the 4 questions are. The 4 questions are, is it true? Can you absolutely know for sure that it's true? How does this thought make you feel? And who would you be without this thought? So let's say you think you're going to lose your job. So the first question you would ask is it true? Now, there are only 3 answers to this question. Yes, no, or I don't know. Now, a lot of times the answer is I don't know. We just think something bad is going to happen, but it doesn't necessarily occur. If the answer is no, or if the answer is I don't know, then you can skip the second question. But if the answer is yes, you go to the second question, which is, can you absolutely know for sure that it's true? And then again, the 3 answers, yes, no, or I don't know. Then you go to the third question. And the third question is, how does this thought make you feel? So let's go back to my example of you think you're going to be fired from your job. Is it true? I don't know. So you skip the second question. How does this thought make you feel? Well, I feel scared. I feel terrified. I feel nervous. I feel angry. And all you do is write down your feelings. Oh, and by the way, this is very important. This whole process works best and really only if you write all these questions out with your answers. So, how do I feel about getting fired? I feel scared, I feel nervous, I feel upset, I feel angry, I feel sad. You just write out all your feelings. Even if you don't know if the event is actually going to happen. You write out all your feelings. And then the fourth question is, who would you be without this thought? So, who would you be if you weren't even worried about being fired? Or you didn't even know that was a possibility? I'd be calm, I'd be happy, I would do my job better, I would be relaxed. You would just write all these out. And finally, there's what's called the turnaround. And this is my favorite part of it. You turn the event around. So for example, instead of saying, I'm going to be fired, you say, I'm going to keep my job. I'm going to get a promotion. I'm going to get a raise. I'm not going to get fired. I'm going to quit and get a better job. So all of these ways are ways, all of these possibilities are ways of turning your mind around, because often what traps us is our thoughts and our mind. And our mind often tells us the most negative thing. So now I'm going to give you a couple of examples of how I've used this in my own life. I remember once I was taking a very long journey by myself, and I had to go see some people, and there was one person that I knew did not like me, and for some reason this was really bothering me. And it was bothering me so much, I decided to pull off the road. I found a little town, and I got out of my car and I got out my notebook and I wrote, "This person doesn't like me." And then I wrote, "Is this true?" And my answer was, "I don't know." So my second question I could skip. The third question, how does this make me feel? Well, it made me feel sad. It made me feel hurt. I just wrote down all my feelings. Then the fourth question, who would you be without this thought? Who would I be without the thought, this person doesn't like me? I'd be fine. I'd be calm. I'd be relaxed. I'd be kind. And then I turned it around. This person does like me. This person doesn't like me, but it's not that important to me. This person loves me. This person doesn't think one way or the other about me. So I just wrote all these out. And again, let me say, there's something very powerful in the writing out of your thoughts, the 4 questions, and the turnaround. This is a very powerful tool to help you calm down when something's bothering you. I highly recommend it. I've used it many, many times. Again, this book, Loving What Is by Byron Katie, I highly recommend it. This has been your weekly Reads with Robert. Thank you.